I'm Astrologer Penny Dix. Welcome to my in-depth look at the new moon in Pisces, which is on March the 10th. It's at 20 degrees and 16 minutes. So if you know your chart, then have a look to see if you have any significant points at 20 degrees and 16 minutes. And especially if it's your sun or your moon, then this is going to be a powerful new moon for you. I think at this point, we will bring up the chart so you can see that as I do the brief overview of a little bit of who Pisces is, a little bit of the importance of a Pisces new moon, the aspects, then I go on to do your individual zodiac signs. And remember, always listen to your rising sign as well as your sun sign. And I always think it helps to listen to your rising sign first, because what the rising sign does is it gives you the area of your life that is being affected by this new moon. For instance, is it relationships? Is it career? Is it home? Is it your finances, for example? So I think at this point, as I said, it's time to magically bring up the chart by lovely techie Jerry. Actually, he hates it when I call him techie, so I'm just going to say the lovely Jerry from Team Penny, and there it is. So this is the new moon in Pisces, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of energy all kind of collected in the final quadrant of the chart. I've got the chart down here in front of me because I can't see that one because it's superimposed after I make the video. So first of all, let's think about who is Pisces. We also have to remember Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So the moon going through its phases of full and new has done a complete cycle. So it's gone all the way round and it's reached the end of its cycle with the 12th house, the 12th sign, and the sign of Pisces. Pisces, of course, is a water sign. Remember my oceans of emotions, and that probably tells you everything you need to know. They are oceans of emotion. Do you know anyone born under the sign of Pisces, or perhaps who has a significant part of their chart in Pisces? Perhaps it's the rising sign, also known as the ascendant. Perhaps it's their moon. But if they have any of these points apart from their sun, they will certainly be very emotional, very sensitive, very empathic, and they will also probably have quite a developed psychic ability. The only difficulty that comes sometimes for Pisces, or one of the difficulties that can come for Pisces, is that because the ruler is Neptune and their co-ruler is Jupiter, they can tend to get caught into illusion, delusion, confusion, mystery, and basically not seeing things clearly or as they truly are. That can be a problem. And because water, which is the element of Pisces, flows everywhere, anywhere, it needs boundaries to contain it, whether it's a land boundary, whether it's your bathtub, whether it's whatever it is, that a river that is containing its flow. Pisces energy needs that containment. Now, at the moment, Saturn, that rules Capricorn, is in the sign of Pisces. And that is going to be the next in my series of the outer planets. I will be looking at Saturn in the sign of Pisces and Saturn in general. But also with Pisces, we have an element of mystery. I don't think, you know how you can't hold water? You can do all sorts of things with it because you can freeze it and turn it into ice. Have you ever had the experience of a Piscean freezing you out? Because they can do that. Have you had the experience of, if you're a fire sign or have fire in your chart, melting the cold heart of the Pisces energy? That could also be an experience of Pisces. So I think one has to think about the element of water and also the fact that Pisces is a mutable sign. Now, what that means is it is flexible. It goes with the flow. It moves with the energy. This is why you find a lot of Pisceans have problems with addiction. You will find a lot of Pisces natives who have problems with alcohol addiction, cigarettes, gambling, drugs, anything that kind of, in a sense, abuses their bodies. Because Pisces energy is not necessarily very in touch with the physical body. It depends what else is going on in their chart as to whether they have a little bit of earth and grounding. But if they are too mutable and in this kind of flow of the oceans of emotion, then we get a Pisces who finds the reality of life very hard to cope with. But look, that's enough about, I think, who Pisces is. I think you get the general gist. But what about this particular new moon? Because as I said, it's at 20 degrees and 16 minutes, and it's at 9 o'clock universal time. That is actually GMT, but universal time kind of ties in with the Pisces energy of us coming to a kind of point in time, which is an ending and a beginning. So we had a Virgo full moon in a few days ago in February. And that may have brought certain significant endings. Virgo can be quite anxious and it can worry a lot. And Virgo is also, remember, about service and caring. And it's about detail. So there may have been something that left your life or is in the process of leaving your life. It may be something that has the ability to transform into a new kind of beginning with the same energy of whatever it is that you thought was leaving, but you found a new way to introduce it into your life. This could be in a relationship. This could be in a business partnership. This could be in a business. This could be in a career. There are all manner of ways that this energy can play out. It can be to do with your family. But if you look at the chart, okay, at the midheaven, now that's right at the top of the chart where you've got those squiggly lines. That's the sign of Aquarius, fixed energy. And I use the tropical Placidus system. Well, I think what's interesting is Pluto is sitting right at 1 degree, and so is the midheaven, 1 degree. The midheaven is 1 degree and 8 minutes. Pluto is at 1 degree and 26 minutes in the 10th house of in a sense, your divine path. Where are you heading towards? What is your spiritual passion? What do you really want to bring into your life, to intend into the now, into the here and now, to say, I am so happy. I now have harmony in my relationship. I'm so happy. I now have peace with the person I had fallen out with. I'm so happy. In my case, it would be, I'm so happy my 5 cats now get on well. They're not. That's why I'm intending it. One of them is a Piscean, Spoticus, whom I don't think I can ever get in the in front of the camera, but I might put a still up of him as a post because he is a very beautiful pussycat. But you know, Pisces is very sensitive, and in some ways they don't really like being in the limelight, which is interesting. You know, they are they're good behind the scenes. They are good creators. They have a huge ability to tap in to the collective imagination, to the collective unconscious. Now, I want to read you a little, a few lines that I wrote down, that I jotted down when I was preparing for this video, because what I've said is the mutable new moon energy of this chart is held from spilling over with too much impassioned emotional energy by the fixed energies on each quadrant. If you look, you've got Aquarius, that's the squiggly lines. And then if you come round the chart, you've got Taurus. And then right at the bottom, you've got Leo. And then opposite Taurus, you've got Scorpio, also another water sign. So you've got air at the top and fixed. You've got on the ascendant, Taurus, earth, and fixed. At the bottom, you've got Leo, fire, and fixed. And then on the descendant, you've got Scorpio, water, and fixed. So what I felt was these fixed energies hold together the intentions you make with the new moon in Pisces energy. And it's like Pluto standing right up there under the squiggly lines of Aquarius. He's like an overlord of potential transformation, and he's conjunct the midheaven, surveying what goes on in each and every other part of the sky, of the zodiac wheel. And it just felt important to bring that in, because when we move into the next season, which will be Aries season, which comes mid-March with the spring equinox and the astrological new year, the whole cycle begins again. The whole zodiac cycle of energy begins again. But this is a new moon at that point where you're bringing some completion to the zodiac kind of energies, of all the energies, as I said, with that Pluto, Lord of the whole energy, helping us transform the intentions we have into the present moment, and having that divine faith that comes from the spiritual aspects of the sign of Pisces. The energy is really quite beautiful. Let me just tell you a little bit about the aspects before I move on to your individual sign, because there are some interesting aspects which I think will help you understand how you can work with whatever your intention is that you want to bring into the now. So the new moon in Pisces is making a sextile. That is a helpful aspect to Uranus, my lovely big outer boy, my planet of surprise and the unexpected, an innovation, invention. Pluto, that I feel is holding the energy together at the top of this chart, is in the sign that Uranus rules. So it's almost as if Uranus is also brought into the equation with this new moon of making it meaningful, so that we have to think outside the box. We have to allow the Piscean energy to, in some ways, let us flow with it, with our understanding and our imagination and the mystery that we can come up with, the thoughts and the creativity that can come with this Pisces energy. And Uranus is in Taurus, which of course is fixed, and it's in the first house, widely conjunct Jupiter, because Jupiter is coming up to conjunct Uranus. I'll be doing a separate video about the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus, because that is a biggie, and that's in April. So I'm going to pre-record that soon, before I go in for my back surgery. Saturn in Pisces, conjunct my moon. So I will do videos explaining all of these things. But if we think about this new moon, it's sextiling Uranus in Taurus. It's saying, come on, think outside the box. Allow the flowing waters, the boundarylessness, if that's a word, of the water to get into the nooks and crannies of your consciousness, of your super consciousness, of your higher consciousness, to connect you with your intuitive channeling abilities that this kind of energy provides, to be inventive, to really allow yourself to dream your dreams into reality. We may see this on a collective level. We may see this kind of ingenuity coming in with inventions, with new ideas, with ideas that seem to have some kind of connection with, this must have come from some far off region of the galaxy for us to even be thinking it. And the new moon is also conjunct, of course. It's a wide conjunction because the 7 degrees between it, but it's still nevertheless conjunct Neptune in Pisces. And of course, Neptune rules Pisces. They are all bunched together. It's widely conjunct Saturn in Pisces. We've also got Hygeia in there. And you'll notice that Mercury, our planet of communication, our planet of thought, of actually buying and selling, because Mercury is like the merchant. Mercury has fast, quick thinking ideas, how to make a quick buck. So tuning into that sextile with Uranus and the ingenuity of the inventiveness that can come out of the ideas that come with this new moon. It's in the 11th house. So this is pretty general as a universal time energy, but this could be really, really tuning in to energies of invention, of really thinking outside the box, of also taking those risks that empower us, that take us with Pluto's guidance through Aquarius up to these higher frequencies that I often talk about, so that you open yourself up to the higher energies and frequencies that want to channel in these new ideas. Like when I talk about my blue light energy, my wonderful blue orbs, my wonderful blue shafts of light that I see, that empower me to convey to you what these far distant energies want us on earth to know about. And remember, this is not an exclusive club. They're just waiting for all of you to open up and allow them through. Just sit quietly and invite. You know, they won't come unless you invite them in. They're not rude. They're not pushy. That would not be their remit. They need to be invited in. So remember that when you want to open up to psychic energies, whether it's on the spiritual realm, the energies of souls that have passed over, if that's the energy level that you want to tune into, then remember you have to invite them. They may step in if they need to get a message through to you that is really urgent and you really need to know about, but then they will step back. And it's the same with the frequencies of these spiritual star beings, you know, these galactic energies. They need to be invited. Invite them in. Don't just think they're just going to turn up. They're not just going to turn up and show up. You have to sit quietly and see what comes through for you. They won't come through unless you're ready. And how do you know you're ready? I think you need to have sorted out an awful lot about you and done an awful lot of, here we go, personal self-development, personal growth. You need to know yourself very well. And you need to have stepped aside from your ego. The ego is very useful. We need it in certain situations. You need to have become as aware as you possibly can be of your narcissism, because we all have it there. We need it actually to just go into a shop and ask for something we're a little bit worried about asking about. We have to, though, let these energies aside. We have to put them to one side. They are there for us to use and utilize into everyday physical being, into everyday physical life. We need them there. But Mercury, as I said, is also widely conjunct with Neptune, this new moon in Pisces. But Mercury is at the 0 degree of Aries. It's already begun. It's begun its new journey into the zodiac kind of newness, new beginnings, the new energy. And it's almost like it's saying, come on all of you in Pisces, quick Pisces, come on all of you, let's go, let's do it, let's get this show on the road, let's really become the beings of intelligence, of light, of guidance, of love that we all need to be. We need to let go of these lower frequencies of negativity, of criticism, of doubt, of anxiety, of judgment. All of those energies need to go. So that's really all I want to say about this new moon, because I'm going to go on now to your individual signs, because I think it's also important to know how it's going to affect you in this part of your life. So at this point, the wonderful Jerry of Team Penny is going to make the chart mysteriously disappear. Unless you still want it there. Too late, it's gone. So let's have a look. So, Aries, 12th house. Well, of course, you are the first sign of the zodiac. So this is very much about you. And this is also very much about the inner part of you. This is about your spirituality, the mystery part of you. You know, because Aries is rather kind of what you see is what you get. Basically, Aries, being the first sign of the zodiac, is kind of, this is me, this is who I am. But Aries, this is the 12th house, so what's it teaching you? Where are you feeling confined? Where are you feeling a little bit lost? Where are you feeling that some of your feelings are not allowed personal expression? Do you feel taken for granted? That could be one manifestation of this. So the new moon is a wonderful opportunity to intend freedom. Freedom from being caught in an emotional kind of state of mystery and empathy and sadness for the world almost. You know, the world will have to sort itself out, as will the planet. And the best way you can do that, Aries, is remember it takes one person to change. And then another one, and another one. And once those even 3 people change and intend magnificence for the planet, success, happiness, healing, an end to war, an end to suffering. All of those things, if we intend those things, Aries, then I think you'll find that you will start to feel better, that you will start to feel like that Pluto at the top of the chart, empowered. You will come through whatever dark passage this new moon and the sun in Pisces is taking you through. And by the time you have your new moon in Aries, I think you'll be seeing the world in a very different way. So it's good, Aries, it's good. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, it's in your 11th house. Well, of course, you're the ascendant of the actual chart, of the event chart. So you actually have quite an important role to play with this new moon in your own life. It's giving you an opportunity to give a little bit of attention to not yourself, but to the collective, to actually put yourself out there a bit in the public eye, to share some of your wisdom and ideas. Remember, you've got innovative Uranus in your sign sextiling this new moon. That's giving you a wonderful opportunity to really show people how you can actually be flexible too, but with an ability to have boundaries, because I think Saturn in Pisces in this part of your chart is teaching you how to be a little bit more clear, concise, constructive about the projects, plans and ideas that you would like to set in motion. So it's a good idea with this new moon to review, look at, renew contacts with old friends, old groups of people that can help you build your empire, Taurus. You know, you're the ascendant of this chart. So you're in a very good and positive position to really benefit from this new moon in a very positive way. And I think you're also going to receive a boost to your health. I think your health is really going to feel much more robust. So where you might have been feeling a little bit under the weather, you're going to feel a lot better, Taurus. Let's move on to Gemini. Gemini, 10th house of career, passion, soul direction. Gemini, have you been feeling a little bit lost? A little bit just not quite sure how you want your passion, you're not sure what your passion is. It's like you're a little bit lost. I think I've just said that, I'm repeating myself, but there you go, mutable energy. You're all over the place, Gemini. Because this is a mutable new moon, and that is what you are, mutable, and you're air. You're thinking, well, shall I do this? Or shall I do that? Or maybe I'll give some attention to this for a while. You've got to be clear and concise, Gemini. So use Saturn, that is widely conjunct this new moon. And the new moon is sextiling Uranus in Taurus. And, you know, that's your 12th house, which is the inner you, giving you some pretty good ideas and, you know, inventiveness of how you can kind of proceed forward with your projects and your plans. I think this could be potentially a good time for you, Gemini, to sit, think, create, and trust and have faith that the divine has your back and is guiding you. Maybe you've lost a little bit of that sense of awe and oneness with the whole cosmos. This is helping you get back in touch with that. Okay, let's move on to the sign of Cancer. Cancer, it's in your 9th house. Well, of course, this can be higher education, but it's also a highly spiritual part of the chart, because this part of the chart is normally Sagittarius. So it's ruled by Jupiter, which of course is the co-ruler with Neptune of this new moon, because Jupiter co-rules Pisces with Neptune. So there's something about Cancer. Reach for the stars. Be inventive. Think of that Uranus in your 11th house sextiling this new moon that is widely conjunct both Saturn and Neptune, and also Aries, Mercury in a fire sign. You know, I think you're fired up with some ideas. I think your inventiveness and your creativity is going to receive a boost with this new moon. Intend that you have that boost of energy, imagination, inspiration now. Just intend it in the now, Cancer. And I think that will serve you well. Let's move on to Leo. Leo in your 8th house. This also is an interesting house, Leo, because it's the house of transformation. It's the house of endings and beginnings, which is interesting, isn't it? Because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So in a sense, it's also about endings and beginnings. What have you needed, or what do you need to bring to some kind of conclusion and actually give new life to? Maybe this is an old idea or dream or part of you that you need to breathe new life into. Leo, I think you have some plans, some inventiveness coming from your 10th house where Taurus is and that Uranus is, sextiling this new moon, really giving you a sense of growth and achievement. But we've also got to remember that this 8th house is about joint finance, tax, investment. If there is something you need to get done to do with the details of, say, a tax, getting together your figures for the end of the tax year and all these kind of things that we have to do at the beginning of each year, then this new moon would be a good energy to sit down and think, right, I've just got to set aside a couple of hours to do it now. So where I was saying in the beginning and where I was saying to some of the other signs, intend it in the now. I am so pleased I am doing it now. I am so pleased I have succeeded in collecting all my figures for last year, getting to them all into some order to pass on to my accountant. If you think like that with this new moon, you could save yourself a lot of anxiety, because this Pisces energy in the 8th house for you, Leo, can lead you off on merry, merry thoughts of paranoia and mysterious kind of ideas and all sorts of things which really don't help you. So, Leo, keep it simple. Do what needs to be done. Think of the energy of your 2nd house, Virgo, which is where the full moon was. This is about the attention to the small things. Get your figures done. Get your accounts done. Get it sorted, Leo. Let's move on to, as it happens, Virgo. So Virgo, of course, this is in your opposite sign, Pisces. This new moon is in your 7th house. This is the part of your chart to do with significant relationships. So do you need to breathe, Virgo, some new life into your current relationships? Doesn't have to be one that is a permanent partnership. It could be one that is perhaps has been teetering on the brink. Maybe you just need to kind of reconnect with someone, reconnect with a really good friend, and just intend some new life into what has been a perhaps even an emotional roller coaster. Perhaps you need to be helping a friend who is struggling, because, if you think of the Pisces energy and the addictive side of Pisces, there may be someone in your life that is having problems with too much alcohol, smoking, drugs, anything like that, you could help them. You can intend, just say, I am so glad they are being able to kick this habit now. Maybe you have to be the instigator of that. Maybe you come up with an idea of, it's reminding me of how actually a Virgo friend has helped me lose weight. Not by saying, you have got to lose weight, but just by saying, let's take it a day at a time. A little bit like AA. Just one day at a time. Let's just get a kind of average for the week of what you've lost or not lost, so that you have an average. So if your weight goes up one day, it doesn't send you into a spiral of negative depression. So that's one way that one can look at it. The other is something that's happened to me also quite recently through another friend who is vegan. And what's interesting is I'm not vegan, although I'm kind of becoming vegan, which is really strange because I need to lose weight, as you know, for this surgery. So what I've been doing is she's been helping me out a lot because of my mobility issues, let's just put it that way. So she's been helping me out with shopping. And I've been thinking, looking at her basket, ooh, that looks nice. Ooh, what you got there? And so I've been buying different foods, more green stuff that I would never have thought of buying. I also decided to get myself a microwave, which was a big, big step for me because I just didn't like the idea of food being ready in a nanosecond. I'm a Taurus. I want to do it the traditional way, but I can't at the moment because I can't stand up for very long. So, and I know this is rather long for our Virgo horoscope, but what I want to talk about is I think that the combination of what my Virgo friend did and this other friend, who interestingly is a Scorpio friend, so she's on the descendant of this chart, which is interesting, is that she's not saying you've really got to lose weight. She's just saying, try this, this is nice. And as I'm changing my diet, I'm naturally losing weight because I'm eating different foods. I'm eating healthier foods. I'm eating foods that fill me up because I'm eating foods that are more vegan based, and I'm liking it, and I'm not missing meat. The only thing I miss is fish. So she said, that's okay. Doesn't matter. Be a pescatarian. I went, oh, okay. Not that I have to be anything. I'm doing it because I'm choosing to do it. And so it's very interesting. And I'll just give that to you because and I might talk about this in one of the weekly lives because a lot of people won't be listening to every single sign. So I'll stop there with you, Virgo, and I'll save it for one of my lives because I think it is quite important to empower others with this kind of way of changing one's diet. Anyway, let's move on. Virgo, what I'm saying is you may find you need to be assisting someone who is who needs some help because the sun and the moon are in your opposite sign, Pisces, and they just might need your support. And if you're able to give it, and actually it's something you do like doing, Virgo, so that's cool. Okay, let's move on to Libra. Libra, so it's your 6th house, which is actually a Virgo house, but it's Pisces in this chart, which is the house of service and the house of health, the house of pets, small animals. So it's a new moon. You can interpret this, Libra, in whatever way you choose. Now, if you've been having health issues, this could be a new way of choosing to look at what that health issue is and just choosing to change your mindset. Just choosing to say, I'm healthy. I am so glad this new moon has empowered me for good health in the moment. You know, we have to stay in the now. So I am so glad the new moon has empowered me for health in the now. I am so glad the new moon has helped me to take care of my physical health, to empower me to be aware of any problems and tackle them in the present. Because sometimes, Libra, you can worry about, because it's Pisces, this part of your chart, and you've got Saturn going through it, which is our planet, my big boy of, you know, restrictions and boundaries. It can also be the skeleton. And so you can worry about you may not even be aware that Saturn is in this part of your chart. But, you know, you might be sort of worrying about, oh, what if I break a bone? What if I go skiing? You know, because people go skiing at this time of year in the Northern Hemisphere, not in the Southern Hemisphere. I haven't forgotten you're down there. Australia, Tasmania, New Zealand, South America, and some parts of Asia. So, and obviously South Africa. So, Libra, if you are caught in a state of worry, which is possible with this energy because it puts Virgo in your 12th house, which intends you or inclines you more to worry about you, but you keep quiet about it, then what I'm saying, Libra, is stop it. Stop worrying. You are okay. Intend to be okay. If there is something that is not okay, then deal with it. Deal with it in the now. Don't leave it lingering and say, oh, I'll just close my eyes and it'll go away. Because no, it won't. You have to deal with it. Right, let's move on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, it's in your 5th house of fun, entertainment, creativity. I don't think there are any boundaries being set on where your mind is going and what you're thinking about in terms of creativity at the moment. I think the ideas are flowing thick and fast, and your spiritual awareness and your accuracy about what is happening to, you know, sort of psychically being able to tune into what is happening with other people is surprisingly spot on. You are really connecting with some higher frequencies. And this new moon is kind of elevating you and giving you an opportunity to just rise up a little bit more, which is super exciting for you, Scorpio. I think if there's any downside to it, I'd say be careful you don't get ahead of yourself, because it is the 5th house. So natally, it's a Leo house if we go by zodiac. So, you know, one can get a little bit kind of puffed up. So, you know, strutting your stuff. So just be mindful of that, Scorpio. And this new moon could serve you very well in the department of the imagination, intuition, and creativity. So let's now have a look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, it's in your 4th house, home and family. So Sagittarius, it's a new moon. So is this new beginnings for you at home? Have you had a clean sweep? Maybe there's a queen coming to visit. Her Majesty of wherever is coming to visit you. But Sagittarius, maybe you are looking at just giving your home a kind of a clean sweep and changing some of the energy. You know, it's a bit like smudging with sage, and just kind of changing the energy, getting rid of the old, bringing in the new, welcoming in the new. And, you know, Sagittarius, like Pisces, you are mutable, but you're a fire sign. So be careful that the ideas that you get, or ideas that are suggested to you, you don't pour fire on. Fire, you know, sort of put out or the water doesn't put out your ideas or flames. So there's also something here about family and new information coming in for family to do with them having situations in their life where creativity, spontaneity really needs it. It's like I think some of your family, if you have them, some people don't have much family. I have a very small family, or blood family. I have a huge spiritual soul fam. But Sagittarius, I think that there is stuff going on behind the scenes that you need to tune into. So be careful that you don't miss something with this new moon. There could be somebody who is leaping into something that you're thinking, should they be doing this? I might need to sit them down and give them a little bit of guidance. So be aware of that, Sagittarius. Now, let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, this is in your third house of communication. New moon, Pisces. Wow, your psychic abilities are flowing at the moment. Your intuition about close friends, I suspect, is spot on. Your intuition about what has happened over the last year, I think you're processing a lot of things that have happened in your life. I think the full moon in Virgo brought some endings, and I think it's been quite tough for you, Capricorn. I think there's had to be some letting go that has been difficult. Or if not endings, significant changes to situations in your life. And also, I think people will be experiencing you speaking much more sensitively, more empathically. It's like this new moon is just giving you a chance to be a little bit more, less hard edges, less Saturn in Capricorn, which rules Capricorn, more Saturn in Pisces, that is just containing the flow, but allowing your flow of intuition and great ideas to flow naturally and to adapt, because Pisces is quite good at adapting to new situations because of its flexibility. Whereas Capricorn is cardinal, it just makes a decision, it wants to get it done. So Capricorn is kind of this energy that is saying, okay, I now know how this goes. And my intention as Capricorn is, you know, I'm really going to use my intuition to be sharper, to be more aware, to be clearer of who, what, how, and why things are happening in my life. Let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, it's in your second house of finance. But this is also the house which tells us how we make our money, what kind of work we do, what we sort of, and it's Pisces, which is quite interesting because I think, you know, Aquarius, you are a highly spiritual sign. And so I think it's incredibly important to you the work you do, if you do still work, if you have a career, if you're self-employed, has some element of a sort of spiritual awareness to it. It doesn't have to be in the spiritual floaty la kind of lands, but there has to be something, some edge, or you have to work with people who bring in that kind of spiritual edge, because I think, Aquarius, you get quite frustrated if that side of you is not fed, honored and listened to, because you can operate at quite a high frequency. Now you've got Pluto in your sign. This is big stuff, big energies that are here to bring a lot of significantly powerful changes to you individually. And this new moon is also asking you or inviting you to put some boundaries on your spending and how you manage your finances. You know, we don't know what is unfolding on the planet. That sounds funny coming from an astrologer who's supposed to be able to see into the future. But, you know, I can't see into the future. I can intuit it. My intuition can tell me the kind of things that are likely to unfold from what the cosmos tells me astrologically. And sometimes one's intuition is spot on. So Aquarius, this is about also you trusting your intuition. And if there's some little niggly thing in your brain that is saying, I'd hold on to my haunches, I'd just not spend quite so much at the moment, because, you know, we don't know what's going on. We've got Uranus still in Taurus for nearly 2 more years. Taurus is about money. Taurus and Uranus is turning all the financial activity on the planet upside down and inside out at various points along the way, partly due to the activities that are happening on the planet, whether they are man-made or whether they are earth-made, don't know how to say it, whether they are caused by earth movement. That's the words I'm searching for, earth movement. And so just be mindful of that, Aquarius. Finally, we move on to Pisces, my oceans of emotions. So Pisces, this of course is in your sign. You know, it's always nice to have a new moon in one sign, because I think it's almost like a new year. It feels like a new start, because of course it is your birthday season. So some of you will have already had birthdays. Some of you are having them on the 10th of March. And, you know, that means that this is a particularly, or going to be a particularly significant year for you. And if your birthday is a couple of days before or a couple of days after, then it's also going to be particularly significant for you. So Pisces, this new moon is about you. This is about, I wanted to say about you growing up. I mean that in the nicest possible way, because of course you are grown-ups, and also you are intuitively streaks ahead of the rest of the zodiac. However, what I want to say to you, Pisces, is use this new moon to really, really ramp up your intuition. Intend it in the now. Just invite it in. My intuition is boundaried, is crisp, is clear, is absolutely as it should be, so that you can walk around and feel proud that you have grown in stature, grown in maturity, psychic maturity, intuitive maturity. That Uranus sextiling your new moon is giving you a chance to break out of a box that you might have put yourself into or others might have put you into. And this is giving you a chance to start again, to intend it in the now. I am the new me now. I am so grateful I am the new me now. I'm so grateful I have achieved emotional maturity. I'm so grateful I have achieved emotional, I'm so glad I have attained intuitive maturity. I'm so glad I have attained psychic maturity. I'll get it out soon. It's my Pisces moon all over the place. So, you know, this is good energy. And I think, Pisces, you will really enjoy the video that is going to come out in March. I think it's planned for the 18th. I've got to record it first, which will be all about Saturn. And all about Saturn this year, but particularly about Saturn in Pisces. And I will go through each individual sign and let you know how you will be experiencing Saturn in Pisces this year. You see, this is all much more interesting than having your regular monthly astrological forecast. The reason is, with the new and the full moon, I am giving you a little bit of I'm giving you half the month and the second half of the month. And then what I'm also giving you with the weekly forecast ahead is how you rock and roll every day of every week. What is important about it is that it makes it also much more interesting for me to record, because when you keep repeating the same thing over and over again, I've discovered, it gets difficult and boring, and it's very difficult to sound, hey, wow, this is so super cool. I'm so thrilled to be giving Pisces, my Oceans of Emotions, their March horoscope. I can't do it. I just can't. It's too much. It does take up too much time. And as you know, I've finished Pisces with your reading now. I'm just kind of doing my wittering that I do at the end. But I've got this surgery coming up. I decided, and I think I said in one of my posts or videos recently, I want to do quality, not quantity. I'm not worried about the subscriber count, because I know the people that want to be here will be here. And that's okay. And it's fine with me. And I want to be able to see the ones of you that want to come and see me for a reading. I want to be able to be free to do all of that. I'm not going to be free for that if I'm recording too many videos. So yes, I did burn myself out. And now I'm taking better care of myself. And I'm giving myself a strong backbone. I'm needing, of course, to take a little bit of help from a very nice surgeon, a neurological spinal surgeon, who is going to give me my backbone back. And then perhaps my Pisces moon will have a little bit more strength and ability to work with you in the way that is most useful and empowering to you, and also I enjoy. Listen, you guys, you know I love you all to bits. So thank you so much for being here for the Pisces new moon on March the 10th, 9 o'clock in the morning, Universal Time. At, what was it? It's at 20 degrees and I can't find it. It's at 20 degrees and 16 minutes, just to remind you, in case you want to look at it on your own birth chart. And remember, with these birth charts, I think I do have a birth chart calculator on my website, but I'm going to have to ask Team Penny. If it is there, I'm not sure how it works because I'm not very good at technical things. And my lovely astrology teacher, Alison, said to me, well, of course you don't understand all these technical things and columns and lines and whatevers because your Mercury is unaspected. So I'm learning something every day. And I thought, oh, I see my Mercury doesn't make an aspect to anything in my natal chart. And so I'm wittering again. But it was so super interesting. So anyway, I'm going to stop there at 1 minute and 1 hour and 5 minutes. And Jerry will be watching me like, oh my God, has she finished yet? Is she still going on? How much more of this video do I have to listen to? Jerry, I'm done. Thanks for joining me all. Love you loads. See you next time. Bye for now.